So let's start first with Flask. So, uh, do you guys aware of what is Flask? Like, why should we learn? Anyone have any context of it? You can just unmute and talk. Like, let's have this interactive. So, yeah. Okay. Right. So primarily, like this session is focused on backend development, like backend things. So you basically have a request coming up, right? Like let's imagine how a web works. Basically, when you give a URL, like say for example, you type something in the browser, like google.com, like you're sending a request, and then you will be receiving a response. So there is some web server which is acting in the back end, which is accepting your request and then sending back a response. So there are a lot of things that is happening there. The server will do. For example, like it can serve you one of the pages, or it can connect to DB, do some operations you want, and then it will send you that response. So if you see in Python, we can create a very simple web server, like just using this command. Like Python has a inbuilt module called HTTP. Like we can just have this command. I'll show you that. Now if you see, we instantaneously we created one web server. Like this itself is acting as a web server. It says serving HTTP on the port 8000, right? Let me click on this. Let me open it. Yeah, you're able to see the output, right? Like what I'm basically doing is I'm sending a request to this URL, and by default, what I'm getting is the listing. When I say listing, if you see this web server, let me I have started this web server from my microblog directory. And when I send a request to it, it is just giving me this slash. When I just send a request to the slash route, it is just doing the basic listing. Let me try to do this as well. If I want a very specific file, you can see, right, like here it has this readme.mdr requirements.txt. If I just click on it, that particular file is getting displayed. So for this request, I'm getting this file. If it is this is getting served, right? So what basically a web server do is it will accept your request. Here, this is the request, and process it, gives you the output response. Is it clear till this point? Is it fine? You can unmute. So yeah, you can unmute and say, because I can't see the screen there. Um, okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah. Now, generally, if you see, like here, it will be like 127.0.0.1. That will be your IPv4 address. But this type of address is like IPv6 address. Like those are enclosed in these brackets. And then we have the port associated with that. So this is how a request is made, and then the response is received. You can see, right, like whatever I did initially, I gave a request to this slash, and that is basically a get request. When I send anything here, that is a get request. So get slash this, get slash requirement.txt, and if that file is served, you will be getting this status code, which is 200, right? 200 means it's successful. Okay, now we created a simple web server using this command instantaneously. Now, why do we need Flask? That's the question. So these kind of web servers will basically give you static files only. When I say static files, I can just create a file here, and then I can get it through that URL. If I can create one more hello.txt, and then I will just give hello.txt there, slash hello.txt, I'll be getting it. But the reality doesn't work like that. The pages needs to be customized, right? Say for example, you are trying to access a dashboard. Everyone are not going to see the same dashboard. It will be personalized for you, right? Like say for example, Netflix or something. In Netflix, the movie suggestions will be like very much personalized to you, right? So that is like a dynamically generated contents, and that is not possible using the static kind of web servers which we just did. And for those cases where we need to connect to database, where we need to introduce some business logic in processing user input, we will be using the term called framework. So what basically a framework does is, uh, if you are having, it will provide you a lot of supporting functions. So when I say supporting functions, what I told you initially, like you're sending a request, and that request is like a HTTP request, and you will be receiving a response, right? So you need some ways to handle how HTTP actually works, what how the protocol works, how to process it, how to infer those meanings out of it. Those things will be handled by framework. If you are not using some frameworks, you have to do these overhead operations. Like these these logics are abstracted and they are defined. You can simply take help of frameworks, and then you can just implement the business logic on the top of these internal details without going deep inside. There comes the Flask, Django, such frameworks exist, and we are going to learn Flask because it is very simple, lightweight framework. It's basically a lightweight web application framework, right? Okay, till this point it's fine. Let me stop this. So this is how a basic server works. Now let's go ahead, and I hope everyone will have Python installed. So I'm personally using, okay, I'm personally using PyEnv. Like yeah, PyEnv is like Python environment where you can have multiple versions of Python available for you. So this particular version is 3.14.2, and I can easily switch using this PyEnv, which you can have it parallelly running. And one more thing is, when working with Python, it is always better to create a virtual environment for your purpose. So uh, imagine like this: you are simultaneously working on two projects, and these two projects require different packages, like different version of the same package. How will you isolate and then keep it? In those cases, we will be using a virtual environment. So is everyone clear? Like say there are two projects, right? And those two projects require two different versions of package A. Like first project require A1, second project requires A2, right? Now if you are not using this virtual environment and you are trying to install the package A, then two different projects has two different needs, right? Like it will become a kind of very difficult to manage these two things, right? uh, there comes the usage of virtual environment. So everyone clear why we are using virtual environment, right? Or should I explain it again? uh, is it clear?
Yes, sir, it is. You can continue.
Okay. So in order to initialize this virtual environment, what you need to do is you have to create this one first, python -m venv. So let me break down this command for you. First one is python. You're just telling this python -m stands for it is an option, which means a module. So this venv is a module in the python venv package, and this is the name of your virtual environment you are giving. So this is the one you use to create this one. So once you run this command, you can see a venv folder created. This is because of this venv, and you can see like bin include, lot of things are there, and dot git ignore, like lot of things are here. So you no need to worry about it. It's just like a syntax, and this ensures you have created this virtual environment. Once you create it, you need to activate it using this command. So source, let me activate it in mind, and you see it is now activated. So this is like 3.40.2, like without this, and now you can see venv. So now I'm inside my virtual environment, and I can install Flask. So I'm not going to do this now because I already done that. You can just what one other thing you can do is you can have this requirements.txt. So for certain projects, like what I did, you can install the same version by creating this requirement.txt. One way to generate this requirements.txt is you can just install whatever you want, like pip install Flask, pip install python.env, everything. And once you've done that, you can give a command called pip freeze. So pip freeze will basically list down all the things installed. You see, like what are the packages that I installed, or whatever things I have in this environment, pip freeze will be listing it out, and that is sent to requirements.txt. Right? This is like you have a file here. Give the output of this command to this file. Like it's like take the output here, put it inside this file. That is how this works. Okay. Now this is about setting up the environment. Any doubts till now? Like what you need to do is first take a folder. Like we throughout the series, which I'm going to explain you, like I'm trying to get a microblog application only backend. You have to create a virtual environment first using this command. Activate that virtual environment, install packages, or one other thing you can do is instead of installing, if you have this requirement.txt, you can give this command. So what this command does is go to the requirement.txt, whatever is there, it will install, and you are good to go. So this is how we need to set up the environment, a virtual environment with Flask. Any doubt till this point? Right? How did you open the directory? Oh, it's just in VS Code. You can go here and then give open folder, and that gets opened up. Okay, so this is about this. Let me start with app. Okay, so you have a multiple ways of doing things. Like people will just create app.py, dump all of their code into one place. But I would like to make it very much modular. Modular in the sense, there has to be a separation of your code. Like certain files should do only what it should do, nothing more than that. So basically, app is a package. And in Flask, how do you create a package is you have to create a folder called app, right? Inside that, you will have a very special file, which is underscore underscore init underscore underscore dot py. This is like very special file associated with that. And whenever this app package is invoked, this gets called automatically. Like you no need to do anything. just importing this app will run the script for you init.py. So that is what we are doing here. So I'll explain you this part later, but this is the way of creating a app package. So you have to create that app package, and then init.py will be automatically invoked from outside. Let's come to it later. And you have to import Flask from this one. So you can assume like this is your package we installed, right? Like initially, if you do pip install Flask, this will be your package. And from that, you will be having this class. Like you can assume it to be like a class. Basically, this will give you a instance of a WSGI style application. What WSGI means, it's beyond the scope of the discussion, but at high level, it is like a web server gateway interface. Uh, Basically, like not all servers can understand Python, so you need to have some gateway to make the servers understand and execute the Python script. So hence we build something like the a gateway to do that, and that this is basically giving you an instance of such app. Okay, and this underscore underscore name is the name of the package or the module. Here, what I told, the app is the package, right? This folder name. So app is basically what the name of this package, and then that is the name of the application as well. So this is how you will be creating an app, right? It's very, very simple. You just need to create an app package. To create the app package, create this directory, and then you have a very special file which is underscore underscore init underscore underscore dot py. From Flask, just import Flask. Then app is equal to Flask underscore name. Till this point, it's clear, right? Like this is how you need to create an app. Is this clear? Yeah, Abhay, like this session is just started, so we just set up the environment and then we just initialize the app. Now let me go to the next part of this. So before that, let me see the session notes as well. Okay, so before that, like let us see. I showed you initially that this directory listing, right? Even very popular website like netflix.com also you can do something like this. Like they have one humans.txt thing, you see, like similar to this. Like this is your domain, and then this is the path. Then you can view, like earlier they used to have the hello world route also, but for some reason it is not working now. It get redirected to their page, but yeah, this is something like we will be doing in backend now. Just wanted to show that. uh, okay, so done that, let's proceed. Okay, now we wanted to know the routes. Okay, so what we are going to do is we have to import the app. Forget about this part now. We want this app. See, we created this app here, right? We want this app here. And what I want is when I give a slash thing, I want this hello world output, right? Like whenever I give a slash, I want a hello world output in my local. So for that, what you need to do is this is your app, this is the route, and slash. This is your, you can say you in Flask terminology, like this is a rule, but generally people what they say like it is a endpoint URL anything, but as per Flask definition this is a rule, and when you hit this rule, this function has to be executed. See, this is a very normal Python function. See, we have the function name, we have this return hello world, right? This type of function we call it as a view function. So whenever we are hitting this rule, this view function will be executed. Okay. So let me start my Flask app, and it is simple to start, like just giving Flask run will do. I'll go to, what is the URL? Okay. Okay. I'll tell you this also. See, I haven't given anything, right? But I told you here on giving this slash, this should work. But here I didn't do anything. So by default, your browser will add a slash. Okay. Like that will add a slash and then match it, and this view function will be executed. Is this part clear till now? Like how this view function is done. Even if you remove this also, this will work. Let me add it back. Okay, can anyone tell me like what this do, like any guesses like on adding this? Anyone, like this slash index, what it does? Any guesses?
What are you asking?
What?
What are you asking?
Like I have added this one, right? Slash index route also. So what it does, like how it will work? If I give a slash index, will it show something or what? I mean, if I type here slash index, do you expect hello world to be shown? Any guesses? You're understanding, right? Like, see, this is your base URL, okay? Like, this is your domain, this is your port, and whatever is given here is the rule which I was telling. Now, if I give slash index, what will happen?
Like I can guess it will load the main page.
No, it will call this view function again. So it will give you the hello world only. Both these rules slash index, whenever it is triggered from your browser, it will give you hello world. Slash will also give, slash index also gives. But if I'm going to give something gibberish here, you see it's not found. So whatever is defined here, it will execute that view function below that. If that endpoint is not registered, you will be getting a not found error. Basically, this is your 404 error. See, if you have this rule, it is 200 and this will be executed. But if this rule is not registered anywhere, you will be getting 404. You got this point?
So, sir, why we are using like index or home, something like that?
You
If
can
it
use
is
anything.
directly increase,
Yeah. Proceed.
no, I am asking that if it is directly being executed, then why is the need to again then put index and home?
Oh, okay. You're asking like that. Okay. See, a website can have index, home, contact, uh, anything, right? So for all of this, I can't have a same function, right? Different paths should have different things. If I want an about page, that view function should render me about page. If I want a contact page, that view function should render me contact page, right? Like the different path will have different view functions.
Okay, sir, understood.
Yeah. And yeah, so this is why I'm doing this way is both this rule when triggered will give you the same view function. But if you give a if you try to define this view function again, it will throw you an error. If I say, for example, slash index 123 def index. Okay, can anyone tell me, will this work? I actually told, oh, sorry. Why is this autocomplete feature? Okay. Yeah, you see, this automatically throwing me this assertion error. View function mapping is overwriting an existing endpoint function. Because what Flask internally does is this index function will be mapped to only one set of endpoints. Here it is registered, like it is registered to slash route and then slash index thing. Those two things it's registered, but you can't define it again. It will throw you an error. You're understanding this point? Like this
Yes, sir.
point, yeah, this point will be tested in your quizzes and in term of MAD 1. Certainly they will give you cases like this. They will ask if it will throw you an error or not. That's why I'm trying to explain these things also clearly here. So you can simply rename this error will go off, right? Now I can go to this index 123 and you can see hello world 123. Okay, now let me remove this. It's no longer required. Okay, this part is clear, right? Till now, any doubts? Okay, so
Excuse me, sir.
yeah.
So you said like even if we didn't write the whole slash index one in our like URL, it will still
Yeah,
display the contents of index. So
correct.
if we didn't have the index one, imagine if we had the home one, app root home one,
Okay.
immediately after that one. So would it display the home one or does it have to be index one?
Uh, you mean where should I add the in home one here? Like you want me to
Yeah.
create a route here, is it?
Can we delete the app root index one and then the home one will be immediately after that? So
Okay.
yeah, so like if we don't input anything, we just go for our URL like slash one, would it display the home contents of the home one?
No. It will give you what is below this, right? It is index is the view function, right?
Okay, so yeah, that's my question. If we didn't have index, or
Okay.
is it compulsory for us to have index?
No, it's not compulsory. You can remove this index also. See, I'm commenting it out.
Yes, sir.
Now this is getting executed. Hello world, right?
Yes, sir. That was my question. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Now let me do one more thing. I will put this here. Let me comment this here, and then put this point here. Now tell me what you expect. Will hello world come or wait? Just tell me this. Will index function execute or home function execute for slash route?
Home
I think
function maybe.
home.
Yeah, you're right. Home function will execute. This I'll explain it later, but this is your home function output.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, okay. So that is about slash home. And one more thing is you can define this uh, endpoint twice. See, I'm defining it here. I'm defining it here also for the contact page. Ideally, this should be slash contact, but for explaining this part, I gave it. And this view function will never be executed because this slash will be overwritten with what is defined first. That only will be executed. Even if I register the contact view function to this route, it will not be executed. Fine.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir,
In
please
the log,
explain this part again.
yeah, you can define the URL twice, the endpoint twice. It's not like twice. You can define it as many times as you want. The view function associated with the first definition, which comes first, will be executed for that endpoint. So for slash, I'm defining index view function contact view function, but index view function is defined to first, so it is executed. Return hello world.
Sir, but when we were putting it in home, the home was being executed, right?
Yeah, at that time I commented out this, right?
Okay, okay. Yeah,
Home
yeah,
is
I got it.
yeah. Now if you want this one to execute, you can just copy. You can just cut it out, paste it here. Now tell me what will slash will give me.
Contact one.
Yeah. So, this is about it. And oh, I'm messing this up. Let me do this one. This is easy. Discard file. Don't save. Let me go to routes. Yeah. Okay. So what can be done? Okay, I will demonstrate one more thing also. Now I just gave here, I will give a I'll just give a slash contact here and then the slash thing here. I'm getting contact page, right? But if I remove this one, what do you think will happen? If I give this uh, endpoint, will the output remain the same or it will say uh,
It will say, it will give error since the name is exact that has a slash.
but that is not the case here. What your browser does is it will add a slash. It can add a slash at the end if it is absent, but it won't remove the slash. It can add a slash. Let me just explain this part again. You are defining this view function with a slash. You are sending this URL without a slash, entering it. Your browser is adding a slash, matching this view function is executing, right? This part is clear, right, till now?
Yes, sir.
Now I will remove the slash and I will give the request with the slash. It is not found. So you have to understand, if your URL is having a slash, you are sending without slash, your browser will add a slash and then match it. But if your URL doesn't have a slash, you are sending a request with a slash, it is not found. Is this part clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, can you show it again?
Okay. Wait. Let me do that again. So here I am sending this request without a slash, but my rule has a slash, right? And I'm sending this request. My browser will automatically add a slash, match it with this, and then give this contact page, right?
Right, sir.
Now, if you don't have a slash here, and then you are sending a request with a slash, it is not found.
Okay, okay. Understood, sir. Yeah.
Yeah.
So browser will add, will not
Yeah,
remove.
browser will add, will not remove. You have to be careful there. Sometimes this caching issue occur. It's actually kind of cached now. That's why the error is there. Actually, this gives some weird behavior then and there because of browser caching. So, but what you understood, like you have to be careful with that. Right, because you have to experiment these with the code, because these will be asked in your quizzes, like what output you are expecting. Like many times they ask these kind of questions. Okay, so now you understood the view function, right? Like when we try to match it, we will be getting this view function will be triggered. Okay, now let me go back here. This is about your view function. So basically these are handlers of the route. The route is the rule. When you hit that rule, that handler will get executed, which we call it as endpoint. And I can show you this thing internally also, like how this app is configured. So Flask has something called as Flask shell. I can show that to you. Like Flask shell in the sense like um, what to say? Yeah, this is like a environment of Flask. This particular app, like this shell, has the context of this app. I can just give whatever I want here. Like I can just give app. So this is your current app. This is the name of the package. Okay. So if I give this command, uh, yeah, here you can see this. This is your rule. Where is the rule? Yeah, see, they explicitly named this. What we done is this slash rule, the one I'm highlighting. So your rule is basically your slash, and view function is your index, and the methods that are supported are hit, options, and get. So you can basically use this command url map app.url map to see what are the view function associated with the rule. So if you take the slash contact, the view function associated is contact, and the supporting methods are hit, options, and get. Okay. Uh, okay. Now let me discuss about these methods. So these methods are part of your protocol. So at high level, this application is running based on HTTP protocol. HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Like that is the way we are sending a request. We will be receiving the response. And one of the HTTP methods, like we can just list down what are possible methods is, or options, head, get, post, put, patch, and delete. Like these are the method. Like we have lot other methods, but these are very common. Among that, also, we generally don't go for options and head. But I'll tell you what options is. Like giving a options method to a URL will tell you like what are the possible actions that can be performed with that URL, like get, push, post, put, patch, everything. Like it just give the possible options, and head will just give you the head of the response and not the body. Get will give you the entire response. Post is for sending the forms. Put and patch is for update. Delete is for deleting the record. I will go deeper into it in upcoming sessions, not now. But these are some of the HTTP verbs which are possible. Right. Okay. Now, whatever we are sending in browser is a GET request by default. Uh, can anyone guess why this error has occurred? Any guesses? Okay, it's just because I have turned off the server. So you have to be like you have to run the server every time, like to while you're sending a request. So just giving Flask run will run the server for you. Now if I just give it again, access to it is denied. Oops, what happened to this? Hey, why this is denied? This is strange. let me fix this one. Okay, Flask, right. Okay, let me quickly figure this out. God, what is happening here? Okay, I'll come to that later. I'm not sure what is happening here, but yeah, I'll tell you before that. Like, let's discuss few other things. So one way of testing this response is through browser, like what we did till now, whatever we have seen, right? There are couple other ways to test this responses. One is using a curl request, other one is using a Postman or Thunder client. So now I will do with your curl request. Since this browser is not working, I'm going ahead with the curl. So what you need to do is curl, and then you can simply give this URL. You can see the output, right? Hello world. So this is curl. You can have it as like a text-based browser. Like it's not exactly browser, but this is what your response is. Are you understanding this part? Yeah, I think. See what to say. Wait. Oh. Okay, so I'll just come to these things later. What to say this one? Cookies problem. Yeah. Let me open this in incognito. Yeah, actually the cookies is an issue, but let me try that out. Okay. Yeah. So by default, this is a GET request, and here also you are giving a GET request here, right? So hello world is here. Now you can also give some other type of request also, which is through these commands like -i option. So what -i does is it will execute head method. Like head will give you only the header of your response, but not the actual response. You see, like this is HTTP 1.1 200, okay, but this will give you just the headers only, what server, date, everything, but not your actual response. But this, on the other hand, by default is your uh, by default is a get method, and this -v stands for verbose. Like I want everything very clearly, like the header and then the body, everything clearly. It's given by -v option. Okay, so you are sending a request to this point 127 point. This is what here you are sending a, by default it is a get request to the this endpoint, and this is your http version, and this is your host user agent, and this is accepting star. Star stands for anything, like it's kind of a wildcard operator, and this is your request, and you are getting a response here. So response server, date, content type, content length, and then your response. Okay, when you give only this -i, the head operation is executed. As part of your head operation, your response header, see, this is your response header, that is what returned. But when you give a get request, you will be getting everything, and this -v option, I'm explicitly mentioning the output should be verbose, hence it will give me the header and actual response. So is it clear like how curl command works? Right? Okay. I'm not sure. Like this. Oh, see, now it is working in the same tab, but like this is messing up. I'm not sure why this problem is there. Okay. Yeah, let's deviate. Let's not deviate. So we will see here. Uh, okay. Now I have explained you this curl command. I have explained you this browser, and then you have a specialized tools like a Thunder client or Postman, where you can send a request and then receive a response. So see, I'm using Thunder client because that extension is available for me within VS Code itself. I don't want to use something else, Postman outside, but it is the same behavior. You will get a kind of same interface also. So what you need to do is you have to give your endpoint here. So this endpoint can be, for now, let us try with slash, and this is your verbs like HTTP operations or verbs, like people will call it interchangeably, like get, post, put, delete, patch, everything. So prop, find, custom, or other verbs, like it's not that important. Like get to this is your Thunder client interface. I'm just sending it. This is your status code, size of the response, time it takes, and here is your actual response, right? So is this part clear? Like there are three ways by which we can send a response, receive a response, either through browser or through Thunder client or through curl request.
What does the status show?
This, okay, status code, is it this one?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so every time it's not like the response should be successful, right? Like I can send a response, but at that time the server might not respond, server might crash, anything can happen, right? So based on that, we will have the status code. So status code of series 200 means it's okay. That means the server has received your request, has correctly processed the response and sent you. So 200 means that is fine, like you made it correct. And the status code with starting 100, like 100 series, we used to say, that is for displaying some information. Like a server giving you information, those status code series will be of 100. And status code of type 300 means it is like redirection. Like you are sending this request, but it is redirecting you to some other place, then you will see a status code 300 series. If it is 400 series, it means client side error. Like very common thing is 404, right? Like that means page not found. I can simulate that also. See, I'm just giving you ABC and this is giving me 404, right? That means there is no page for ABC, this route. So this 400 series is basically your client side error, and 500 series represent a server side crash. What is server side crash is, I'm doing some operations in the view functions, right? Like view function here. Say if I did something, where is the slash? I'm just giving you a is equal to 5 by 0. Let me do this. Now I'm sending you here slash. These kind of errors are 500 errors, right? So if there is an error within the server code view function, you will be getting 500 series error. If the client is making any mistake, when I say client, it can be your browser, it can be the thing in Thunder client, it can be anything in curl. Those things will give you 400 series error. 300 means redirection, 200 is successful, and 100 stands for information, like what information the server is sending, something like that. So is the status code clear now?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, where were we? This is regarding application context. Oh, sorry, curl command. Okay, one more thing I left here in this one is if you see the view function, this view function can't return. It has very restricted return type. Say for example, if I try to give return return, like, let me give this one return 5 only. Now I will go to my browser and then give this. You see, like, the view function did not return a valid response. The return type must be one among this. It should be a string or a dictionary, list, tuple with headers, or status or response instance, or WSGI callable. Other than this, if you are trying to make something irrelevant, if the data type doesn't belong to it, it will throw you an error. So uh, yeah, these things are very important for your quizzes, because they will give you simply return 5 plus 5. I remember seeing that once. So you can't simply return 5 plus 5 because the value will be 10, which is an integer. But this return type should be one specified there. Like, it should be a string, or it should be a dictionary, list, tuple, something of that sort. Right. Okay. So that's about these things. And let me introduce you to one more concept. We are not going to dive into the templates today. Okay. So you see here, this app, I'm importing this route, and I'm just given it in line number 5, right? If I give this line in line number 2, will this code work or it will break? Any assumptions or any idea do you have? Like, just see the code here. This is from the Flask, importing Flask, creating the Flask. Then from app, I'm importing routes. And if you see the route, I want this app. From this app package, I'm importing this app, and then I'm doing these operations. So what I'm asking is, if I give this line here, line number 2, will this code work or will it crash? Any ideas? Uh, any ideas, like, will it work or crash?
It
Yeah, it's
might
fine.
crash since Flask is not being called.
No, it will be called, right? Like, I mean, I'm just pasting it here. Still, the Flask is called, right?
But then it is being executed later after that part.
Yeah. So how does that make an issue?
We didn't define the app in the above line, right?
Yes, you're right. We won't be defining. See, your whatever you're telling is right. Here, from the app, we are importing the routes, but here we are already using this app. Like, we are assuming this app package has this app, but this app is only defined in line number 3. But in that line number 2 itself, you are calling this one routes, and this is expecting you this app. Like, from here you are calling this, and this is calling back that. So this is kind of a circular thing, right? You are able to relate it, right? This is calling the routes, and the routes is expecting this app to be already present. And when I give, this is called circular import, right? And in order to avoid this problem of circular import, what we do is, we will define the app first, and then we will be calling these routes, right? You are understanding the problem of circular import now, like why it occurred?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Sir, is there any issue if we put that app Flask one in the fourth line? Sometimes Python creates an issue if there is not perfect what
That
we say.
that will be causing if you are putting a space, but not on the number of lines in between.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Okay. I think I plan to cover the templates too, but it's already around 8. So, any doubts on what we discussed now? Any doubts anywhere?
No, no, no.
Okay. I will share this code also, so you can go through it. And then someone asked about this autosave, right? So I'm, if you remember, like I'm just starting with Flask run, but I did not say what app to run everything, right? Those configuration I made it in .flask env. So it will go to this Flask app variable, like this particular constant, and it see this microblog.py. And in this microblog.py, I'm just importing the app. So this is the starting point. When you give Flask run, the code will check for Flask app, and the Flask app is microblog.py, and this is your app package, and this is your app variable. This app variable is here. Then yeah, that is how it runs. And I'm setting this debug mode to true. So if you set the debug mode to true, it will run automatically. Like whenever I'm making the change, it will run. Otherwise, it will, you have to restart the server. In order to prevent that, you have to set the debug mode to true. And then the Flask run port is 5000. You can change it here also. By default, it is 5000, so I just kept it here. Yep, that's it. I will share you this code here only, so you guys can see the file. So you can go through the code and do let me know if you have any doubts. Right. Uh, Before the next session starts, like I will make changes and then upload it. Push the code there. So yeah, that's what I had for this session. If no more doubts, like we can end the session here.
So when will be the next session?
Uh, I'll planning on weekends, so I will confirm and let you know. You are there in the group, right? WhatsApp group.
No, sir. Actually, in the WhatsApp, the community has been like removed from my phone. I don't know what it is, but on Gmail it's there.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir. I also don't have in this WhatsApp one.
Okay, then we will circulate it in through email also, so you will get to know that.
See, for WhatsApp groups, we have sent you a mail. Check that mail also. Like there will be the full process to join, and we will also mail you the next session. Don't worry.
I've already been in the WhatsApp group and community. Maybe because one time my WhatsApp account got deleted, so
Okay.
maybe because of that or something. So I'm not in the any of the groups.
Okay, like you can rejoin by like going to our portal. Like I will just made and set.
I have filled the verification form, but then after that, nothing I know about the process.
Like after you fill the verification form, there will be a thing called check my status in the website. So once you go to check my status, then you can find the invites of both the groups. Like you can send your WhatsApp invites to both your regional group and common group, and then we will accept your requests. Like just go to this website. If you haven't filled the verification form, fill it. And like after filling the verification form, just uh, click on check status, and you could find the links there of the like invite links, and from there you can join.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Girish. It was a wonderful session.